Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Shweta and you are watching Dr. Finance. Today we will talk about the recent policy change by the Indian government that affects the sugar mills and their ethanol production. Ethanol is a biofuel that can be blended with petrol to reduce oil import dependence and greenhouse gas emission. The Indian government has set a target of 10% ethanol blending by 2022 and 20% to 2025. To achieve this target, the government has been encouraging sugar mills to divert excess sugarcane to ethanol production. Sugarcane is the main raw material for sugar and ethanol production in India. Sugar mills can produce ethanol from sugarcane juice, sugar syrup or molasses. The government fixes the fair and remunerative price of sugarcane every year, which is minimum price that sugar mills have to pay to farmers. The government also regulates the supply and price of sugar in the domestic and international markets. However, on 7th December 2023, the government issued an order to the sugar mills asking them to stop making ethanol from sugarcane juice and sugar syrup from the next sugar season. The government said that this decision was taken to ensure adequate availability and supply of a sugar in the country, as there is possibility of lower sugarcane production due to drought in some states. The government also said that the sugar mills can continue to make ethanol from B-heavy molasses, which has less sugar content up to the limit of their existing commitments to the oil marketing companies. This order has created a stir in the market and it has significant impact on the sugar and ethanol industry. The sugar stocks have witnessed a sharp decline as the investors are worried about the profitability and viability of the sugar mills. The sugar mills have invested heavily in setting up ethanol distilleries, expecting a steady demand and revenue from ethanol production. They have also benefited from the higher prices of ethanol compared to sugars in the past few years. The order has also raised some question about the government policy consistency and vision for the ethanol sector. The government has been promoting ethanol blending as a national priority and a green initiative, but now it seems to be backtracking on its own targets. The government has also not clarified how it will compensate the sugar mills for the loss of ethanol production from sugarcane juice and sugar syrup, which have higher ethanol yield than molasses. Moreover, the government has not addressed the issue of sugarcane surplus and farmers' welfare, which are the main reason for diverting sugarcane to ethanol in the first. The impact of the government order on the sugar mills is clearly visible as the sugar stocks have plummeted by 4%, 5%, 7%. But this also raises a big question about the government policy on ethanol blending. The government has been claiming that it will increase the percentage of ethanol mixed with petrol as a way of promoting biofuel and reducing oil imports. However, the government has now restricted the sugar mills from using sugarcane juice and sugar syrup for ethanol production, which are the most efficient sources of ethanol. The sugar mills have invested heavily in ethanol plants, hoping to supply ethanol to the oil marketing companies and earn profits when the demand for sugar is low. They have also enjoyed higher prices of ethanol compared to sugar in the past few years. But now the government has changed its policy without any clear explanation or compensation. The government's order has also created confusion about the relation between sugar and ethanol production in the country. The government has not clarified how it will achieve its ethanol blending targets, which were 20% by 2025, with the reduced ethanol supply from the sugar mills. The government has also not explained how it will balance the sugarcane policy with the ethanol policy, as both are dependent on the same raw material. The government has also not addressed the issue of sugarcane surplus and farmers' welfare, which are the main reason for diverting sugarcane to ethanol in the first place. The government's order has also exposed the lack of a long-term and consistent policy for the sugar and ethanol sector, which is affected by various factors such as sugarcane production, sugar demand, ethanol demand, oil prices, global markets, etc. The government needs to have a holistic and transparent policy that takes into account the interest of all stakeholders, including the farmers, the sugar mills, the consumers and the environment, while ensuring the sustainability and growth of the sector. The government also need to avoid frequent and abrupt changes in the policy that create uncertainty and disruption in the market. The government's order has left the sugar mills and the investor in a dilemma as they have to recalibrate their plans and strategy for the next sugar season. The government's order has also left the common man wondering how it will affect the price and availability of sugar and petrol in the country. The government's order has shown that the sugar and ethanol sector is not as sweet as it seems and that there are many challenges and complexities involved in it. As an investor, I would stay away from the sugar company shares until any further clarification comes from the government to answer questions and concerns that have been raised now. This is my analysis for today and thank you for watching me. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye-bye.